Plan was to give back your similarity unit test, probably do some voting, but now that we're down to a half hour, that's not going to happen. All right, so let's do this here. Review of yesterday, because we're doing a day 2 of Hills and SAS, not only a day 2, an advanced honors level of Hills and SAS as well. So let's see if we got the basics down. I'm going to call out a number. I'm going to call out a segment. Do I call it the hypotenuse, leg, segment, or altitude? Okay, that's what I want to know on my diagram. Okay, let's start this off right. Here we go, 23. CD. Segment. 3. Give me CA. Leg. Here we go, 1. All right. 3 again. Here we go, AD.
Wait, no. Altitude.
Yeah, I should have put those in. Those got erased. Altitude. There we go. Next up, 16. Listen to this one. CB. Line segment, CB. Hypotenuse. Here you go. Woo, 17. DB. Segment. And finally, 16. How about AB? Leg. We all good? All right. Explain to me what it means. 20. What's the H stand for? All right. Good call. All right, let's try 12. What's the H stand for? What's the L? Other L. Same leg or 2 different ones? Same leg. And what about that S? Segment, but I got 2 of them. Which one do I plug in? Done. Done. That's the level you got to be at right there. That's the level you got to be at by the end of today. 18. I have this thing called SAS as well if Hills doesn't work out for me. What's the S? Segment. What about the A? Altitude, A, and S. Different one than the one I put in the first time or the same one? Different one. Question. Going. Let's go to homework. You had 6 problems last night. Any of the 6 we want to look at? Going. Any of the 6? Okay, I'll look at number 6 then with you. Here we go, number 6. This is where we're going to today. This is day 2, honors Hills and SAS, where I'm trying to find side IM, so I called it X. What is side IM? Leg, hypotenuse, segment, altitude. What is that? Here you go, 3. What is that? IM is a what of this diagram? Hypotenuse, leg, segment, altitude. IM? Leg. You can thank Matt for that too. Let's start thinking on our own here, guys. That's a leg. All right? So that would automatically mean I use Hills. Sure. What's H stand for again? There's a problem though. I don't have it. And don't pull this. Oh, I'll call that X. Some of you did that on the similarity test. If you're going to call that X, guys, you're telling me that both those are the same length. Do we know that? No, so don't call it some letter, all right? Can you find the hypotenuse then? Yeah, not right now, but I could use. What's the 12? What's one segment I already know? 9, and I could find the other one with a different variable. Whatever that comes out to be, plug it in for GM, add it to 9, and you got your hypotenuse. That's where you're going today. That is where we were going today with this, where one proportion will not be good enough today. Okay, 1 will not be good enough. Anything else, 1 through 6, before I fly around and check your effort here? Mike. That's fine. I didn't bring up Pythag. I'm going to bring it up today, though. Yes, that is totally acceptable. Okay, let me see all the work you did. I'm only going to do one. There's 4 problems. Calculator ready to go. Okay, here we go. You'll notice right off the bat it's a little bit different because I'm asking for 3 different variables. All right? Before I even get into Hills and SAS and anything else, why can I use Hills and SAS? Get into this mindset. Ready? What type of triangle is the big one? Right triangle. The segment that is labeled Y is a what? And it's being drawn to the what of the big right triangle? Okay, that is the only scenario where I can use Hills and SAS. A right triangle where an altitude is drawn to the hypotenuse. All right. Next thing, and it's already been, Mike already brought it up during the homework, but I'll bring it up now. I did not want to bring this up yesterday because I wanted you guys focused and pros at Hills and SAS. But remember, you have 3 triangles here that are formed. We showed yesterday that they're similar, but they're also what type of triangles? Right triangles. And if you know 2 of their sides, how can you find the third? Keep that in the back of your head. Pythag's always an option. If Hills and SAS may not be working out for you, always remember Pythag might be an option. Might be an option. Okay? All right. We could start a lot of places right now. We could start with different variables, whatever you think. You guys can get creative, but I'm going to dictate where we're going here. We're going to find X first. Okay? We're going to find X first. Again, I know some of you may want to find Y first. That's fine. Okay, you're going to have your options on homework tonight. But right now, as a class, I want to find X first. All right, going back to you guys. What is X? Hypotenuse, leg, segment, altitude. What is X up here? All right, 13, what's X? That's a segment. Whew, still doesn't narrow down my options, right? Because Hills has a segment and SAS has got 2 of them. Well, let me talk about SAS real quick. What's the A in SAS stand for? And what's the altitude? There is no shot I'm putting a Y and an X in the same proportion. No shot. Don't even try it. Okay, don't even try it. So everyone, all right, SAS is out of the question because I'll have an X and a Y. So I'm going to go Hills now. We can do Hills here. We can do Hills. Here we go. 14, what's the H in Hills stand for? Can you express to me how long that hypotenuse is? Everyone go. Everyone okay there? X plus 1, 1 plus X. Okay, next person here that's going to chime in. Let's be smart about the L that you pick. Okay, I already have an X in this proportion. I know, I get it, there's 2 legs, but let's be smart about this, right? I probably don't want a different variable other than X in here. 20, which leg can I use? All right. How about 10, which leg can I use? 3. I don't want to use Z because then there's a second variable. So 3, and what do we know about the legs and Hills? They're the means, they're the same. And now what segment should I be picking out of those 2? 10 again, what segment? Why'd you pick 1 and not segment X? No? You didn't have a choice. It's not like I said I could plug in 1 versus X. You only could plug in 1 because it's adjacent to 3. Everybody good? You didn't have a choice there. It had to be 1. All right, go ahead. This isn't the hardest thing I've had you solve all year. I shouldn't ask this, but still. 20, not here. How about 25? What do we end up with X? 8. Highly recommend, because we're finding multiple variables, you go back up to that diagram and you put an 8 over X here. Because I may need that 8 coming up. All right, I'm going to have us find Y now. Okay, I'm going to have us find Y. I could find y using Pythagorean theorem. Yes, everyone agrees on the triangle, the small triangle on the left. I'm not going to do that, though, because I'm forcing you to use Hills and Sass more. Again, what's y? Altitude. Somebody set up Sass for me then. Here you go. 3, set up Sass. S.
Second, which is 1 over y equals y over 8.
Okay, there we go. I don't even have to, do I even need to say this? At the end here, your answer? Do I even need to say it? We break it down every opportunity we get. When you break it down, let me know. 12 when you break down 8. Nice job. Any issues so far? X, Y. All right, now we go Z. And that was, put that on my diagram, 2 radical 2 up here. What is Z? Hypotenuse, leg, altitude, segment. Leg, so you could use Hills. Yeah, you could use Hills easily, now that I have all the values. I'm going to use Pythag, though, because there's one specific reason I want to use Pythag as far as your calculator goes. I'm going to use Pythag on this triangle to the right. All right? I could also, hey, I'm going to challenge it. You could also use Pythag where? Not only on that triangle, but the big dog. Z squared plus 3 squared equals 9 squared. You could do it there. Okay? All right. But on the triangle I'm going to work with, the triangle I'm working with, can somebody tell me my A and my B values right now? What are my A and B values to plug in the Pythag? Here you go. 3 A and B values. Okay, everyone ready? Ready? 8 squared. Here's why I wanted to do the problem with you. You plug that in your calculator, you're going to get the wrong answer. When I write it like that, when you put it in your calculator like that, what are you squaring? Just radical 2. Is that the side? You got to square the whole side. So in your calculator and on your paper, you got to put the parentheses around it. Because if you don't, your calculator is going to say, oh, they just want me to square radical 2. I do not. Equal to Z squared. So we get 64. 2 radical 2 all squared. If you're getting 4 out, you're not following the directions. You got to square the whole thing. And what is that now? 8. Everyone can get 8 out of their calculator? $64 and 8 is 72. And yep, simplest radical form. Now, you guys that are trying it out right now, 9 is not the biggest perfect square that goes into 72. 9 is not the biggest. $23, what'd you break down 72 into? There we go. And if you used Hills, you're still going to get 6 radical 2. Questions? All right. You got 3 more to do. You're back in your groups. Here are the answers to the next 3. Get going. Talk it over because it's not going to be too easy here.